And you did something really beautiful. You started to write down the choices you needed to make. You began to review the behaviors you had to demonstrate. And you reviewed them over and over again in your mind, rehearsed them. You began to think about the experiences and the goals that you wanted to achieve in a few days, in a week, in a month. And you began to every single day become excited and inspired. And you kept your energy up. And then you did something really beautiful. You wrote down the thoughts you weren't going to think. You became conscious of, I can't, it's too hard, I'll never change, start tomorrow. They would never slip by your awareness and signal your autonomic nervous system into that destiny. You were the lawgiver. You were the queen, the king on the throne. And you became conscious of the choices you had to stop making. So conscious of them that you wouldn't go unconscious in that day. You had to become aware of those habits and those automatic behaviors, what came out of your mouth, how you acted, and you became so conscious of it you wouldn't go unconscious again. And you knew what experiences you needed to stay away from. And you knew that the moment you went down to a lower denominator, a lower emotion, you were back in your past and you couldn't see a future because you were viewing it through the lens of the past. You knew that. And you were conscious every moment. And in the beginning, it took work. It did. That's because you were stepping out of the program as consciousness. And you have to be conscious in order to do that. And every day, you reviewed who you wanted to be. And every day, you reviewed who you no longer wanted to be. And guess what happened? When you started becoming more elevated in your emotions, you could see the old self just like when we were in a lower emotional state and viewed ourselves. Now we're in an elevated emotional state and we can still view the old self. Are you with me still? And every day, you kept reminding yourself. And all of a sudden, you reached a point in your life where the signals were starting to come. Feedback was starting to happen in your world, and you took your foot off the gas. You started to coast, and you knew it was going to come. You didn't know how it was going to happen or when it was going to happen, but you didn't care. You knew it was going to happen. And all of a sudden, it came to you. And when it did, you fell more in love with yourself. And you were more patient and more kind, less judgmental, more in the moment, more understanding. You began to embody more of the divine. You became more whole.